Streaming. Hey, good morning, everybody. On this Tuesday, August 24th, it is 77 degrees. We're looking for a high of 84 today. It's hot, it's summer, and no matter what, I refuse to complain because you know what's around the corner. So I'm taking it. All is good. So we've got two pretty brief lessons today on our writing block, and they're actually connected. Um, so let me go ahead and I'm going to say good morning. Holler back if you're with me. Let me know you're here. We're feeling kind of lonely here this summer. I understand wanting to take a break too, though. Trust. So it's not sending, but I'm telling you good morning. And if you have anything to say, let me know. So here we go. We're going to get started. And I have this for you. And it's a screen of emoticons, right? That's what we call them. And when we are texting people, we what we do normally is to put one of those at the end of our sentence to highlight what we're talking about. If we find something funny, if we find something sad, we use these little emoticons, right? So they help to highlight or indicate the mood. So there we go. So what we're going to talk about is moods and writing. We're going to understand how to make and use verbs today in the indicative or indicative mood. We'll also talk about in the coming days imperative, interrogative, conditional, and subjective moods. So what you're wanting to do is to convey feelings, right, when we write. So let's get started. Let's take a look. So, moods of the verb. Huh. So, what we're going to do is to differentiate the three moods of the verb. We want to be able to identify the mood of the verb in the sentences and write sentences for each mood of the verb. Um, so I guess they're playing a song. This is Beyonce's song, um, If I Were a Boy. If you know the song, then you know what I'm talking about. So what I want you to do is to listen to the song um, and focus on appreciating the words. So how do I find, if I just want to find a song, let me show you real quick. You're going to go to YouTube. In fact, let's do this together. I can't play it with you because you won't be able to hear it. But right here in search, if I were, there's the song, If I Were a Boy. It's by Beyonce. What I want you to do, and you can listen, look at this one. You've got somebody's made it, put lyrics there, and there's another one. So listen to either, any version that you like. And what I want you to do is appreciate the song and then listen to some of the verbs. If I were a boy, I would be a better man. All of these things that she's talking about if she were a boy, right? So what we want to do is listen for mood. So this, I'm going to skip this screen. It's a pre-screen. And so what I want to do is, again, look at our emoticons and what's the emotion shown by each of them. So when we see this, we think of like cool, right? It's got on the cool shades. This one is, to me, is thirsty, being thirsty for somebody, right? You're seeing them, or lustful. Um, this one is surprise, and this one is, we're just tickled, right? It's funny. So They show love, shock, happy face. Their representation for mood in people. However, we're going to talk about moods of a verb. And so, what we mean by that is to talk about the manner in which an action is thought or expressed. And so, there are three types, basic types: indicative, imperative, and subjunctive mood. We're going to talk about them one at a time, though. So, the indicative mood is the usual form of the verb. It states a fact or asks a question and is used most of the time. Look at these examples. He is an honest man. Okay. Is Quezon City the capital of the Philippines? Last Saturday, I saw Anne and her mother. Why are you here? It asks a question. Why are you here? It states a fact. He is an honest man, right? And it's used most of the time. And we shall go home this afternoon. So the main rule in the indicative mood is to be natural and just observe subject verb agreement, which means a single subject and a single verb, or plural subject and plural verb, and make sure you're using the correct tense. Is, was, shall, be. All right. So let's dig into this a little bit more. Let's practice. Write yes if the underlying verb expresses an indicative mood. Write no if it is not. And remember, it's simple, right? We are in a witch hunting season again. I would say that is yes, because the word is are. Second sentence, the government is looking at other options. Is. So that is what? Is looking. All right. So then here we have the book is considered. Now, is that a verb? Considering is considered. Easy reading. I would say yes. And then here, do you like your job? No. And what is El Nino? Well, let's see what we have here. Oh, Melody was wrong. Look at number, do you like your job? So does it express an indicative mood? Do you like your job? Do you like? What is you like? Do. Are you liking your job? So do is saying in the present sense, are you liking your job? I get it. That's a little tricky, right? Grammar is a little tough. So let's look at the next page. We were going to write some sentences, but instead of that, I'm going to give you some sentences. We're going to stop here because all we were going to work on is indicative mood. So let's go to our sheet and look at the verbs indicative mood on our worksheet. Okay. Take a look at our, can you see that well? I think that's a little better, right? Verbs, the indicative mood. The indicative mood is a sentence where the verb states a fact, or reality. This mood is very common in English sentences. Other verb tenses that are not in the indicative mood may express a hope, a possibility, a command, or ask a question. And those are the tenses that we're going to work on later. But for now, let's take a look at the example. She fed the dog. It's something that took place, so it's a fact. So that is indicative. Let's look at these that are not indicative. I wish she would feed the dog, right? I hope she would feed the dog, but she hasn't done it. She may feed the dog. It's a possibility, but it hasn't happened. Feed the dog. It's a command. It's still not a fact. And did she feed the dog? It's a question, but it still hasn't been established that she fed the dog. It's not a fact. So let's look at the directions for these sentences. And I'm going to do the first three and leave you with the last seven. In the blank before the sentence, write in if the verb is in the indicative mood, write no if it is not. So let's look at the first one. The teacher called attention to the example. So that's a fact, right? It's something that happened. They're indicating what's happening or what's happened. So I would say that is indicative or indicative, right? It indicates something that is happening or has happened. Do you like celery sticks as a snack? Do you like celery sticks as a snack? That's asking a question. It's not a fact. We should be able to make it to the movie on time. We haven't made it to the movie yet, right? It's not indicative. We would say no there. And I'm going to do one more. Number 4. He was running for the bus in the rain. So he was running for the bus. That's a fact, right? So yes, that's indicative. And so now I'm going to do one more. I know I said I was only doing 3, but number 5, don't tell me what to do. That's a command. That's not us. It's not an instance of describing something that is happening or has happened. And that's it. It's very simple. Remember, we're just talking about something that has happened, that is a fact. And that's all to this. So we're going to stop here. I will see you at 11 for part 2. Take care.